Hello and welcome to the Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle. Yeah, I can leave right here. I am out on my nightly and I thought I would stop and do a little bit of a chat. So this whole video has a purpose, although everybody knows I digress so dang much. It may take a while to get to it. Backstory. The Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle is a religious organization. And the main reason that it is a religious organization is because I say so. Now, you may think, oh, well, that seems a little arrogant there, Richard. No, it's not. The Constitution of the United States allows for every person to practice their religion as they see fit. Now, there's supposed to be, from my understanding of it, there's supposed to be a separation between church and state. There isn't. Maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but the government has a lot of control over church, which, if there was a separation of church and state, that would not occur. Anyway, I don't like the word church because, honestly, all of this is predicated off of Christianity. I am not Christian, but they still require you to use Christian terms and Christian attitude. As example, Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle is a religious organization. I do not have tax-exempt status. I don't need it. I don't have it. But I am still a religious organization because I said so. Now, there are 5 criteria that are required to be a church in the United States. And they're all based off of Christianity. One is you have to have a building. It is required that you have a structure address, which I'm a pagan. I'm in my church. I'm out here in the woods. I'm in my church. I disagree with requiring that, but they do. One of the other things, and I won't touch on all 5 of them, I'm just going to, the building issue, because I don't need a building. But the second one that I'm going to touch on is one that really bothers me. They require, this is required to be a church in the United States. They require you to have a organized and structured kids class. Again, Christianity's whole thing is force everybody to be a Christian. Convert everybody. Convert. Everybody must convert. So they require you to attempt to convert children. It's required to be considered a church, which I don't. The paperwork requires the word church. I don't like that. But the paperwork requires it to be called a church, whether it is or not, regardless of the religion. But you are required to have a kids class. It's just a way to try to convert the sponges of the youth to trick them into following you. Squirrel? Yep, squirrel. To trick them into following the. If you get a kid convinced that your side is correct, it's going to be difficult once they believe that to get that out of their head. So the conversion factor drives me nuts. I don't like that. Those are the only 2 I'm going to really deal with. Squirrel. Oh, look, a squirrel. So there are 5 criteria that are required to be considered a church, but you don't, if you don't get tax-exempt status, honestly, just calling yourself a church is really all you need, or I like to say religious organization. I might use the word church even though I don't like it because it's required. but every individual person is within themselves a priest or priestess of their own belief system. That is plain and simple, and the Constitution allows for that. So everybody is their own church, plain and simple. Now, unless you file paperwork to get tax exempt status, and that's where people use religion to make money and be a business, is getting that tax exempt status and gaining all that from there. I don't do that. I don't find it necessary or needed. But so everybody is a priest or priestess, or whatever you want to call yourself, a minister or high poobah or whatever you want, for yourself, which means you are an ordained high poobah minister, I don't know, whatever you want to call you, charlatan, I don't care, whatever you want to call yourself, minister, reverend, whatever, high priest, priestess, whatever. So you are ordained just by the sheer fact, objective truth, that you yourself are an ordained priest or priestess of your own belief system, period. Now, you don't get tax exempt status, you don't get all that business-oriented benefit of not paying taxes on things and sneaking around and cheating people and stuff like that, if that's your purpose. If that's your purpose, you need to get that tax exempt status and do that. But and the reason I'm bringing this whole thing up, to get to the point, is I volunteer as a high elder or high priest of paganism, the Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle, my group, organization, church. I volunteer at a prison. Now, I also plan on getting volunteer status in the local jail as well. I haven't done that yet, but I am at the prison. And I go weekly. I've been doing that, working on my second year now. I've been doing that for 2 years now. And I volunteer my time to facilitate classes for pagans. Now, it's considered Wicca because that's what the prison recognizes as paganism, is Wicca. So it is considered Wicca, but I've said many times in the videos, I've only actually found one person that truly identifies themselves as Wiccan. Everybody else kind of has other terms, which is fine by me because I consider myself a witch. So I don't follow the Wiccan read or the rule of three, because it is not of nature. But regardless, that's digressing, and I need to stop doing that. So anyway, I volunteer weekly. Now, it is a calling that has been within me for some time now, and I've always tried to figure out why, and this could be it. So the chaplain that is in charge of the prison facilities that I volunteer at asked me a question about, well, my family plans on moving to Tennessee. I'm in Indiana right now. My family plans on moving to Tennessee. It is considered. We're considering it. So, and I told them at the prison that this could possibly happen anywhere between 3 months and 3 years, or never. Don't know. So he asked me on the walk across the compound. We was in the yard. He goes, "So what's the travel about this Tennessee thing?" I said, "I don't know." I told him, I said, "It's not guaranteed. It's not It's not written in stone. It's written in clay, but that's about it. So he left it at that. He didn't say anything else while we were walking through the yard. We get into the chapel, and he unlocks my particular area that I hold classes in, and we chatted for a while, and then he said, listen, he goes, we have a chaplain position opening up here, and I want to know if you'll do it. And I said, yes, I would love to do that. And he said, well, okay, I said, well, how do you go about doing that? And he told me where to go and what to do. And I told him, I said, there was two criteria. There's two criteria. You need to be ordained, and you need at least a bachelor's degree in college. Those are the two things. Now, apparently, he thought I had a bachelor's degree from a college, which I do not. And I told him, I said, well, the ordination I have. I am ordained from an outside religious group, the Universal Life Church. I am ordained through them, but I am also ordained because of the Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle. That is my church, and because I started that church, that automatically makes me an ordained minister of that church. And another criteria, besides the attempting to convert children and requiring a building, is that as a church, you have to have a established way to instruct and ordain other priests, ministers, reverends, whatever you want to call them. But that's another criteria, is you have to have a structured class or structured way of instructing your priests and priestesses, or whatever you call them. And which I do have in the Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle. Most religions, Christianity is big on this one, to keep themselves from having to train their